Deliberating on the message titled 7 Things Prayer Does. 7 things prayer does. 7 things prayer does. 7 things prayer does. Listen to me. As a Christian, as a believer, I have told you that you cannot do without prayer. I told you here too that you can program fasting, but you cannot program prayer. The Bible says, for you ought to pray without ceasing. You ought to pray without stopping. You ought to pray without giving up. You ought to pray without a reason to stop. You can decide to say, I will fast 2 times in a month. You can say, I will fast just once in a month. But you cannot say, I will pray once in 1 month. Prayer is a routine in the life of every Christian. Prayer is a communication. Prayer is a communion. Prayer is talking to God, and God in return answers you. Prayer is a channel with which we interact, we relate. God relates to us, we relate to God. And when you cannot relate to God, when you cannot pray, there is a gap between you and God. That is the reason why so many things are becoming impossible to us. That is the reason why so many things cannot happen to us. Why? There is a gap between you and God in the place of prayer. In the place of prayer, there is a gap. There is a limitation. There is a blockage. There is a distance between you and God in the place of prayer. So certain things cannot come to manifestation in your life. Certain things cannot come to reality in your life. Certain things cannot manifest in your life. So many things cannot be released and dropped in your life. Why? There is a gap in the place of prayer between you and God. When you are a Christian that pray, you let God know of what is happening. You keep God aware. You keep God abreast. In the place of prayer, you communicate your mind. In the place of prayer, you communicate your desire to God. In the place of prayer, heaven is informed of the predicament. But when your mouth is closed, all these are also closed. Child of God, 7 things that prayer